Happy Thursday. I made it. Everything's working this time. Yay! I guess Facebook did their thing and fixed it. I'm so glad. So I'm getting a new chicken today. I have been contacted on Facebook, and this lady is moving, and she has a Buff Orpington that she needs a home for, a 2-year-old, so it's a young hen. And I have 3 Buff Orpingtons. They're some of my favorite hens. So I get to have a new chicken. I'm going to go pick her up in Pasadena today. So I'll take some pictures and I'll share that with you when we get her. It's going to be really interesting because introducing a chicken, adult chicken, to new chickens, they have to go through their pecking order thing. They have to sort it out, and it can kind of take months really for them to all sort it out. But I have some tricks that I know how to do to introduce a hen to a new group of chickens, and hopefully it'll all go well. But we know how to take care of things. If she needs a little extra, we can totally do that. Hi guys, it's so good to see you. Thanks for commenting. That's really great. Yay, the UK. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Yuri. Hey, JP. Hi, Paul. I feel like Miss Molly. Hi, Nick. Yes, Bethany, it's exactly the pecking order, because the top chickens will peck on the littlest chicken, and they just keep pecking down the order, whoever's the lowest on the order, and it's always the newest hen. So anyway, I will work that out, and I'll if you're interested, I'll keep you posted on that. Been having hey Tony, I miss you, having technical difficulties like you cannot believe. It's like everything I have been doing has not been working. It's so odd. It's one of those frustrating, odd. I'm trying not to let it bum me out completely. I kind of feel it get bummed, and then I go, okay, that's how it goes, and I'll get back up. But it's been frustrating. My newsletter went out really early this morning on West Coast time, so you may have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, look in your spam folders. Okay. And if you haven't gotten it, make sure you sign up here, or you could sign up at the Patricia Tallman page or B5 events page. You can sign up there too. So hi from Germany. Hi, Yasmin. Nice to see you again. Hi, Heather. Oh, it's so cute. I love seeing everybody's names. Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? So Zoom wasn't connecting. I have a Zapier connection from Zoom to Active Campaign. It just won't work. And we're freaking out because people are signing up. So this is the other big thing. People are signing up for the next B5 event. And that is Nana Visitor and Alexander Siddig, or Sid to everyone. He's one of the most lovely people. They both are. They're both extraordinary people. And I'm excited to have them because they both have something really meaningful to share. And if you've been doing any of the B5 events, you know that's the whole point. It's yes, we love our fandom, and we love, we can nerd out together and have a great time. Yes. But it's also it's about sharing what you've been through and giving other people ideas, tips, inspiration, just keep going. And that is so important to me. That's everything, I think, for us in these divisive times. I mean, we need to know how to navigate this. We need to know how to not only survive it, but thrive, even though the world is going to hell in a handbasket. We still need to figure out how to make it through, right? And when you connect in a community that are having these kind of conversations, it doesn't matter. Anything doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, how old you are, what color you are, what religion you are, what politics you espouse. If you're all coming together for a common thread of conversation, like personal growth, personal development, spirituality, and you get past the labels, then all of a sudden healing happens, and healing for yourself and healing for the community. And you don't even have to know why. It's just about creating the moment. So I'm trying to create these moments. And we've got this opportunity with Nana and Sid, and I don't want you to miss it. Right now, we have an early bird special on the tickets. It's $10 off. So go over to b5events.com and grab your ticket. You get a replay. Even if you can't watch it live, you get the replay. And the replay goes on sale for $50 afterwards. Yes, $50. And I have to charge money because I'm paying people. I'm paying several people. I'm paying Nana and Siddig get a piece of this. Then I have people who have been working with me really hard on making these things happen, and they get a piece of this. So everyone's making a little bit of money. It's an exchange of energy. We're putting out this energy to create this moment for you, and you're giving us some money, and money is energy, and we appreciate it so, so much. So if you would take a look at it, go read the page, see what you think. There's still some VIP tickets left, I think, which is very unusual. Usually we sell out within the first day, but I think there's still a couple left. So check that out. And what the VIP thing means is it's you and 20 people total in the group with Nana and Sid and me. I'll be there moderating it, but and then you guys get to talk amongst yourselves. It's really profound. And all the first tickets that have been sold are people who have already bought VIP tickets in the past. They buy them again because they know what a valuable experience it is. It's really special. And if you're in the VIP group, you get that replay as well. And you get to say hi individually. I make sure every single person has their minutes with, you have your time to talk to them, and then they respond, and we all share in that moment. So you all get a chance to experience something that they might share very, very personal. And Na's sharing some stuff that I'm really blown away on how deep she's going on this. She's talking about some experiences that were, you probably didn't know had happened to her. Very, very deep shit. And Siddig is doing some very cool stuff. So I'm really excited. I'm excited about this. Like I said, it's really special. You're saving $10 if you get a ticket now. And I think the early bird goes till just next week. So do it now. You're not going to regret it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Okay. That's that. The Patreon page is moving along. I did all these videos for it, and Patreon freaked out, and the page isn't working. So they're fixing it. They're like, we don't know why it's not working. So, but there's a bunch of stuff going up in it already, and it's going to go live. I think I can make it live anytime. But I really didn't want you to spend your money on it yet until October 1st, because it charges the 1st of every month. So I didn't want you to pay in September and then pay again October 1st. I thought that wouldn't be nice. I didn't want you to do that. So, but for those of you who join in that first week of October, I'm going to do something. You're going to be founders, and founders get something special. So I was thinking, we're designing a badge. So you'll get an enamel badge, a nice badge in the mail from me, and a thank you note, of course. And we'll probably have a party. So I'm thinking we'll have a virtual cocktail party, coffee party, depending on the time of day it is for you. But we'll get together and have a private party and just have a blast. We've already got some really fun events set up for October for the patrons that join us, and I feel like it's something I was meant to do. It's like having this membership group, and you can join at a level that suits you. And then I'll be able to be super personal, and we can do, I have all kinds of ideas. I, of course, want to see what my patrons want. So I want to see what you want. But I have ideas, and we can play with them and decide, is this what I want, or do I want something different? And then I can create stuff for different groups of people. So you don't all have to like the same thing. I can do a lot of different things. But I feel like that's going to be a place that I live. And JP and Jess have been helping me figure it out. And and I've been asking questions on Facebook, and thank you for those of you who have been chiming in. It really means a lot. So there's so much going on. And then I hit a lot of walls, as you do when you try to do new things. There's all kinds of shit that comes up, and you have to find your way through it. But that's life. And that's how it works. So I feel it. I go, okay, I'm bummed. And then I kick myself out of that, because it's okay to have a moment. You got to feel your feelings, but then you just don't want to stay there. Right. And I really do believe in the end result. So I feel like I know what that is. There's something out there that's going to be amazing. Now, how do I get there? And that's what all this other stuff is. To figure out how the fuck to get there. Yeah. So I hear you. I hear several of you have been writing to me, and you've been saying that life is shifting around suddenly, like you got laid off. That's hard. And I know what that's like. I've been, obviously, and having to create yourself over and over again. Not having health insurance. I know what that's like. I don't have health insurance. It's hard. I get it. So let's brainstorm together. First of all, just know you're not alone, and just know you will figure it out, because look how far you've come. You've already figured shit out to here. You will keep figuring it out. It's not fun, maybe, but you are going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. So how do we get there, though, loving life instead of struggle, you know, because the times are just fucking horrible. Everything is, you can't read the news. It's horrible. And the air you can't breathe. Here on the West Coast, we can't breathe it. I hear that you guys in the Midwest and even on the East Coast are seeing smoke from the fires. So we understand anything that happens on this planet affects all of us, even if you're not aware of it right away. Everything that happens on the planet affects us. So how do we deal? How do we cope? What do we do? You know, that's why I'm putting out this little newsletter series. It's simple things. It may not be earth shattering. It may not feel like this is going to save the world, but I'm trying to save you one at a time. Let's just save our sanity. First of all, let's stay grounded, find our sanity, so that then we can find the next right step. You don't have to know the whole fucking route. That's too much. You just need to find that next right step. And so often I feel like I'm stepping out onto an invisible bridge over the Grand Canyon, like I'm going to die at any moment because I can't see it quite, but I'm trying anyway. Just know you're not going to die. It does feel crazy, but you got to try it. And then you go, okay, that kind of worked. It kind of didn't work now, but at least now I have some information and you can try again, make another step, try maybe a little different direction. That's how it works. Nobody knows. I don't care what they tell you. Nobody knows. So the most important thing to learn is just how to start trying to figure out to make the next right step. That's the most important skill you'll ever have in life. Because if you can do that, you can do anything. You can get anywhere. Does that make sense? If you can just start figuring out just the next thing to do, just that, then you get there, and then you do the next right thing to do. And then you do the next right thing to do. That's all you need to do. I was talking to a friend about business plans, and she really loves making a business plan. She was having a blast with it. And I just was reflecting on how I've never made a business plan. I've had all these businesses and I've never made a business plan. And it's always because I've had no fucking idea what that business was really going to turn out to be. And I feel like if I had to do a business plan, like to get a loan or something, which I've never done, I've always grassrooted it. But if I had to, it would be full of bullshit. I would have bullshitted everything because I don't know. I don't even know, like with the Patreon page, everything. It's just like, ooh, that kind of feels cool. So I know how to track for myself. And I know that when I've done these things, it's led me to something cool, like Quest Retreats. All of that was, I can't, so I am happy to share this stuff with you and go deep. And I just have not felt good about doing that on Facebook. The social medias are necessary, but they're, you have to navigate them carefully, as we all know. So I hope that you will be able to join me in the Patreon page. We're still decluttering here. My newsletter that went out today had to do with this process of clearing out space, and the principle behind it. It's like the energetic principle or the spiritual principle behind it is you have to make space for what you want. If you're in a relationship you're miserable in, but you think, well, I'll stay here until I get the better relationship, you're fooling yourself. You need to shut the door so that someone new can walk in. You need to complete this energetically, and that's ethically as well. Does that make sense? So even in your house, if you want to make room for new things, and I'm talking about a new career, I'm talking about new friends. I'm talking about new opportunities in business. You physically clear out your space, physically make some room for something new to come in. It's a great way to get started. That's a great next right step. That's something you can do physically. Just look around and go, what do I need? What do I love? What can I let go of? I have let go of a bunch of things that I've really loved because it no longer served a purpose. Let's say in my house, it didn't serve a purpose. I had this steam trunk for, I've had it for so long. It's an old steamer trunk that had hangers in it and drawers in it. I mean, it's a couple 100 years old. It's really super cool. And I thought I would have it for the rest of my life, but it's kind of massive. And once Glenn, my partner, moved in, we went through a big letting go of stuff. And then my son's girlfriends moved in with us, and they have their own section of the house. But she brought her things in. It was like, you know what? I need to get rid of more stuff. I need to get rid of even more. So I let go of that steamer trunk. I put it on Facebook Marketplace. I'd never tried that before. And actually a good friend of mine was like, hey, I love that. And I priced everything super cheap. It's more, again, an energy exchange. It's an energy exchange. You're giving me some money and I'm giving you something I've loved. So it's a beautiful thing. Even if the money doesn't add up to mean anything, like I can't pay the mortgage with it, but it's still a symbol of abundance. It's a symbol of bringing in more of what I want and letting go. And I have to say that it's kind of exciting now to clear shit out and to feel the space, to feel there's more space around me. And I was sharing in the newsletter that I have this porch room that was an add-on. The previous owners of my house had put it on. We've been in this house for like 20 years. And that room has it has the outside brick as the floor, and it had sliding glass doors, which I removed. And it used to be the outside. So there's the stucco, and I had it all replastered, but I never even painted it. I just didn't know. I was like, what do we fucking do with this space? It's kind of right off of my living room. And so it ended up being kind of where the dining room table sits, and then shit ends up there because nobody's really using that space. So people are putting extra things there. I'm like constantly telling my son, get your CDs out of here. Oh my God. Right. So in this process of getting rid of shit, including the futon couch that was in that porch room, because nobody's ever using it. It's just getting dusty. The cat sleeps on it. It's So I sold it to a lovely family who can really use it for like $20. It's clean. It was nice. It was from my office. It hardly ever been used, but they're appreciative. I'm happy, like win-win. And I looked at that space and I suddenly saw what I can do. I suddenly put it together, and I'm so excited about it. So, in keeping with the spirit of these emails that I'm sending out, I am putting on my calendar. I have a physical calendar. I think it's important to write shit down, So I have like this physical calendar, and I'm putting in the events, and I'm putting in where I need to do what to lead up to the event. But I'm also going to put in here, because we're leading towards the holidays, right? And we all know how crazy that gets. You get to the end of November, and you're like, oh, and you don't have time for shopping. You don't have time, right? So back up. Start doing a little bit of shopping now. Make your list now. Start looking, who do you really need to buy a gift for this year? All right, so spend a little time reflecting on that. What would you like to get them? Then find it, then order it, or whatever. You've got time now. This is the time to do it. So speaking of that, I really want to have that room done by the end of the year. So I'm putting on the calendar, okay, this is the day I'm going to take that bookcase out, which means I got to empty this massive bookcase, get all the books out, dust it off, take the bookcase outside. I got to paint the bookcase. It's like a process just for the bookcase in that room. It's not even including what I got to do to paint the room itself, but that's okay. So we're going to put it on the calendar, get it on the calendar so that you do get it done by the time you want to get it done. It's going to feel so good. It'll be like, holy shit. all of a sudden the holidays are really fun because you're not panicking and spending top dollar on gifts you should have bought last month and could have, I don't know, maybe save some money. I don't know. Or spread out how you had to pay for something. Again, energetic exchange. So yes, that's okay. The blah, blah, blah I had to say today. I was going to read to you a little more. I'm sorry I haven't been looking at the comments. I will. I'll look at the comments. But for right now. So I was reading, I call it the Fellowship of Babylon 5. Each chapter has kind of a nerdy title as far as I'm concerned. So I was reading in this, and this is my book, Pleasure Thresholds. And it's about the 5 years I was on Babylon 5 and everything I was doing in between. Because most people didn't know everything else I was doing in between while I was working on Babylon 5. I also was I was a single mom, blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff was going on. And I was a stunt double on the Star Trek shows, and I did a lot of stuff that was major to me, like stunt doubling for Laura Dern on Jurassic Park, and I worked on Forrest Gump, and I just was doing all kinds of interesting things that for me. And then I ended up writing it all down in the book. Joe Straczynski had a publisher, and he was publishing his script books. And she said, it'd be really cool if we had something that had a little more fan interest, like photographs. And he was like, call Tallman. She was so obnoxious with her camera on the set, an old school camera with hard copy pictures. And I have thousands of them. So her editor came over, and we kind of narrowed it down to about 350 photos. There's 350 photos packed into this book. And then he had me caption the photos, which okay, fine. So I'd caption the photos. I really wasn't writing a book at the time. I was just providing these photos. And then he said, that's an awesome story. Well, you got to tell more about that story, more about that picture. So it turned out that I was just like, fine. And then it turned into this book. So I had to really actually write a book. It's bigger than a lot of people think. It's a good size book, and I added to it. So this was originally published, and then this is the 2020 edition. So there has new stories and reflections and new pictures and stuff like that. So, all that is to say, while I am here in lockdown, I am autographing the book and sending it out from my house. That's why the price of the book on Amazon is $250, because that's the highest I could set it. And I don't want you buying it on Amazon. But in order for me to print the book, I have to have it live on Amazon. Does that make sense? So I want you to buy the book from me, and then I send it to you because I can autograph it. And yeah, that's really it. So I can autograph it, and I send you a thank you note and stuff like that. So it's a great Christmas gift for a Babylon 5 fan who might not have it yet. Shameless huckster I am. If you can buy the book on Pleasure Threshold. No. Yeah, if you go to questretreats.com or b5events.com, there's a place to buy it on both those websites. Okay, there. So I had ended here. This is in the middle. This is in the middle of this chapter called The Fellowship of Babylon 5. It's hard for me to be a physically weak character. My physicality is so much a part of who I am. It's something I have to service. I can't help that I'm strong. It gives me value. In the 2009 film Dead Air, director Corbin Burnson would have to constantly remind me I was not an action hero. So getting the chance to play the Minbari assassin who looked like Lita thanks to his changeling net was a perfect release. Richard Compton, who knew I was a physical person, said, just don't hurt him. When I slammed Michael O'Hare up against the wall, he said, "I think you kind of like this." He was right in more ways than one, baby. I got the flu during the last days of the production, spiking a high fever. I rarely become ill, so this was a surprise. But there's no downtime, no sick days. I took aspirin and kept going. It can really suck when you fall ill on a shoot. If you're a big star, you can help the production or cause a mess of a shuffle for the crew. But as a mere stunt person or not yet famous actor, you suck it up. I love caffeine anyway, so I just drank gallons of hot tea brought to me by a sympathetic crew member. Fortunately, our last scenes were not heavy duty for me. I was in a crowd scene and had no lines. Thank God, because my brain was so fuzzy. I don't know if I could have remembered them. The very last day of shooting Babylon 5, The Gathering, was a special one for me. My birthday. I had decided to throw the traditional wrap party for the entire cast and crew. I didn't care how sick I was. I'm not missing my own party. My friend Christy generously loaned out her house, and the gathering was held in her large backyard. The production company kicked in some credits for a truckload of ice, which was dumped into a baby pool. It became the focal point for some foolery in the wee hours. It was the most interesting mix of people in my life at that event. Dennis Matalone, the stunt coordinator for Star Trek, was hanging out with Kerry Russell, the stunt coordinator for B5. I think fun was had by all. We parted ways, looking forward to seeing the pilot and hoping we would have some good news on a series pickup. There were a couple of us who did some conventions to help promote the gathering to the fans. Word of mouth would have been integral in building a following for Babylon 5. For small projects like this, you need as large a fan base as possible. Those of you who tried to keep following B5s as it roughly navigated the syndicated seas remember what it was like. Christy hosted a viewing party when The Gathering aired February 22nd, 1993. It was weird sitting there with 20 other people watching something so important to me. Except for my hair in the scene with Shakar, I really liked what I saw. I felt inside the station. The gritty texture had come through. There were things to fix, such as the aliens behind the plastic screens, but overall it worked. The feedback was good all over the country. Yes. I stayed busy for the next couple of months while we waited for news on the series pickup. Joe took me and Michael O'Hare to him with conventions, and I learned about how the fans can help support a project like this. There was such excitement building the sci-fi community around the series. My fan base, the horror community, was really enthusiastic about B5 too. I had stunt work, my theater work, and a social life to keep me busy, but I was always thinking about Babylon 5. Everything just felt so right. And then there's a bunch of pictures, more pictures, more pictures, more pictures. Me with 104 fever. Yeah, so I can end right there, where I will pick up on Monday with the next chapter. Yeah, thanks for listening. From Norway, cool. Wow. All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and letting me into your life today. Yeah. So as you can see, there's stuff going on. Please check out b5events.com and look at we call it the Bardo. That's a name selected by Nana, and the explanation is right there. So you can read about why she chose that name and share it with your friends. Please share it with your friends and your groups that you think might really appreciate this. You know, my events are very small. I really hope we have 100 people. And so you get to chat and they can see your chat. It's really cool. But you're all really important. Every ticket is really important because it's so small. I'm sure you can understand. So I need you to reach out and to share. I don't have the big network that these massive conventions have. And so they're making their money different ways, but believe me, they're making their money. You know, you might not have to pay that much for an upfront ticket, but they're making money other ways. That's awesome. And it's all fair. It's my business model on this is a little different, isn't it? So, I hope that you can understand, and you'll get a really cool free program that you can download that it just designs, and it's just beautiful. So, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yes, it's from Pleasure Thresholds. Hi from Ireland. I love this. I love it seeing everybody in Belgium and Norway and Ireland and the UK. And oh my God, it's so cool all over the country. We are this massive community all over the world. And we can get through this. And I think the way to get through this is by connecting on a different level. And that's why this is important. That's why I'm doing B5 events and everything else I'm doing. I just think that's really important. Okay. So be well. You've got a weekend coming up. Think ahead, pick a time and make it special just for you, because that's serving. Then you can come out and you can serve your community, your family, your friends. If you've refreshed and taken care of yourself, you come forward with so much more energy, and we want you to feel great. So do something good for yourself this weekend, okay? Yeah, seriously. Scotland! Ah, I miss Scotland. Okay, guys. I'm just sitting here and could stay here forever. But all right, I will see you on Monday, and hopefully I'll see you buying tickets this weekend. Shameless huckster.